Hey guys, how are you? It's Isaac, founder of UFlip. In this video, I wanted to cover off what the ideal buy banner is and when does it show up, when does it not show up, how do you kind of control when it shows up, things like that, so that you really understand what's going on within the app. So let's jump right in. All right, so here we are within the product detail page, and you probably have noticed that some of the products that you're scanning in shows this little ideal buy banner. And the important thing to remember about the ideal buy banner is that it shows up when the product that you're scanning in meets all of the intelligence criteria. So let me explain that a little bit more. So if I tap on the three horizontal bars here in the upper right hand corner, you'll notice that there is an intelligence option here. So I'm going to tap on that. And then within the intelligence page, there are several categories. When the product is scanned, what the app will do is it'll go into all of these intelligence options and make sure that it passes those intelligence options. And if it does, then it will list that product as an ideal buy. For instance, if we go into that first line item there called rank threshold, you'll be able to set a rank threshold by category. In essence, you'll be able to state to the app what the maximum rank is that you're comfortable buying in a particular category. And when you scan a product and it is below that rank, it may list it as an ideal buy. It actually passes that intelligence criteria and moves on to the next one. For instance, if you scan an item and it's within the baby category, and you have the rank threshold by category set to 150,000 like I do here, and you scan a product that is 50,000 rank, it's going to pass that intelligence criteria, and if all else is true, it's going to list that item as an ideal buy. Now, it also needs to pass all the other intelligence criteria. For instance, category restrictions. Here I don't have any category restrictions listed, but if I did have, let's just say, baby products in here, and I scanned in a baby product, it would not list that item as an ideal buy because you have a category restriction listed here, so it's not an ideal buy for you. Now, if you didn't have that in there and you just had a blank screen like I do here, and you scanned that product and it met that rank threshold and it also met that category restriction, it would list it as an ideal buy, again, if all the other intelligence options were met. So let's move on here. The next intelligence option is avoid seller list. And what this is doing is it's going in and checking to see if Amazon is on the listing. And if so, it'll disregard if Amazon is giving another third-party seller the buy box. Now you can disable these. So you can say, okay, I don't really care if Amazon is on the listing. And if I scan a product that Amazon is on the listing and it meets the other intelligence criteria, it's going to mark it as an ideal buy. I like leaving this option on. I also like leaving that second option on because when I scan a product and it turns green or it gives me that ideal buy banner, I know that it's meeting all those criterias. And I know that if Amazon is on that particular listing, they're giving somebody else the buy box. So it might be actually a really good product to buy. Now within the avoid seller list, if you tap here on the upper right hand side, you can actually avoid other sellers. So if there's a particular seller that you know really kind of tanks the price or you don't want to compete against, you can list their seller name here, and you can also list enter in their seller ID and then click the add button. And when you do it, it gets added to the list here at the bottom. So again, okay, so at this point we've gone through rank threshold, category restrictions, avoid seller list. The other option is product star rating. So what this is saying here is if you scan a product and it is 1 star or less, at least that's my option here. You can tap in here and adjust it to your liking. If it scans a product in this particular case that has 1 star or less, it's not going to mark it as an ideal buy because, as we know, products with a really low star rating typically means that the product is likely to get returned because customers are not very satisfied with that product. So I generally put in either a 1 or a 2 in here and save that. Okay, So at this point, we've gone through most of these. The next one is minimum net profit. If you want to list a minimum net profit in here, you can. So when you scan a product and the profit is below, let's say $4, it's not going to mark it as an ideal buy. Now, if it's above $5, it will pass that intelligence criteria and could potentially mark it as an ideal buy. But I'm going to leave that as 0 just for demonstration purposes here. I'm going to go to avoid brand list. I just have Apple listed here, but you can put any brand in here. So if there are particular brands you'd like to avoid for any reason, a brand that may be prone for IP complaints or you may have had issues with in the past, you can add that brand here. And when you scan a product, it's going to check that brand name to see if it matches any brand within this list. And if it does, again, it won't mark it as an ideal buy. So that's a pretty nifty feature there. And then lastly, there is avoid Aysen list. So if there are particular Aysens you'd like to avoid for whatever reason, you can add them here. You can enter in the Aysen, and you can even enter in a comment. And if you were to ever scan a product with that Aysen, it wouldn't mark it as an ideal buy. So those are all the intelligence criterias that are available to you. So I'm going to go back to my history here. I'm going to go back to that hat that I was looking at before. And you'll notice that it shows up as an ideal buy for this particular product here. And it basically met all the intelligence criteria that we just went over. It was below the rank threshold. Amazon is on the listing, but they are giving somebody else the buy box. It makes at least $4 profit, even though I know I removed that one, but it makes $5.90. The number of stars is greater than 1. Things like that. It's actually going to go through and check all that stuff for you so that you don't have to do all of that manually. So when you scan in an item and that banner comes up, it means that it passed all those intelligence options. Now, if you are using continuous scan and you scan in a product, it's also going to do that check for you, and it's going to come up with a green button here. And if the button is green, it means that it passed those intelligence options and it is an ideal buy, so you can tap on that. Now, if that button came up red, it would mean that it didn't pass the intelligence options that you've set, and it is not an ideal buy. So when you're using continuous scan, that's a quick and easy way to know, okay, this product didn't meet all the intelligence criteria, and you should just move on to the next product because it didn't meet that minimum threshold that you've set within the intelligence page. This is a really, really powerful feature within the UFlip app that allows you to source faster, to let the app kind of do the heavy lifting for you when you're scanning products, so you don't need to check all those things when you scan a particular product. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to tap on the little button down here in the bottom right hand side to go to our website and chat with us through there, or just to simply send us an email. All right, guys, that's it. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.